Today, I want you to have a ball for this workout. We're going to use a ball for pretty much every single move that we have. So get a ball, and I hope you have one. If you don't have one, you of course can still do the workout with me, but this is our prop, and this is going to be your friend or your enemy throughout the workout. This is going to be a big strength workout, low impact. I'm going barefoot. You want to have a mat. We will do some floor work. So a ball and a mat, and we're really going to train our balance. This is what I would consider a bar workout. So I will actually probably hold on to the wall when I need to, or to this table. You might want to consider having a chair, but we're training our balance. So I invite you to wobble. You don't have to hold on to anything if you really want to train the balance. That's what I'm going to be working on. So we have ball intervals, and it's training balance and strength, and I'm really going to be talking alignment. So grab you a ball, have it nearby. Our message is from Colossians 2, verses 20 through 23. If with Christ you died to the elemental spirits of the world, why? As if you are still alive in the world, do you submit to regulations? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch, referring to things that all perish as they are used, according to human precepts and teachings. These have indeed an appearance of wisdom, promoting self-made religion and asceticism and severity to the body, but they are of no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. So these 4 verses are going to be a little bit different in our Colossians series, where we don't talk about Christ except we've died with Christ. All right, that's the very first part. Anyway, we're going to unpack these verses and we're going to talk through. We die with Christ, and that is how we do not indulge in the flesh. So grab your ball, have your ball nearby. We have a quick warm-up today. This workout is going to be so slow that I want you to just be ready for the whole thing is slow. And that's part of the hard work we're doing. So open up these arms. Mostly going to be legs and core in this workout, but we always got to get the shoulders, the arms. They're going to be holding you up and doing lots of work. Mobility is in this workout. Reach up and over and then release. Do that again. Reach up, over to the other side, and release. Make sure you breathe. Roll those shoulders. Good. Now open up your arms and just twist around a little bit. Twist from side to side. Sling your arms. All right. Now let's get the hips into it. So step side to side, warming up the hips and the knees. Lots of hip work today. Balance, mobility, alignment, strength, slow strength. This workout is good. I've done it and tested it with people here that live in the city with me, and it is fire. It is good. I hope you're ready for it. All right, now take your hands and pull those legs back. Good job. Now open up your hips. Open up your hips. We're going to do this in our workout. So right now I want you to take that knee up, over, and down. It's like a circle, but intentionally you go up, over, down. One more on this side, and then let's go ahead and do the other side. So this is where we do train our balance. If you will wobble with me, I'm going to try to do most of the workout without a chair. I really want to train my balance. One more. You can wobble with me, or you can hold on to something. All right, now just lean over and touch the ground. Lean over, touch the ground, kick that leg. So same arm, same leg, kick it back, touch the ground. Good job. Lots of one leg. See the balance going on here? Now do the other side, but we're going a little bit fast in our warm up. Good. So we are going to talk about Christ. We died with Christ. We've already had that in verses before as we talk about Colossians. All right, give me a few step backs where you just lunge back, come back up, alternating the sides. This side and then the other side. So we died with Christ. We have died with Him. When that means we've died with Him, our flesh and the things of the world and the ways of the world and those desires have died with Him. And that is how we don't indulge the flesh. So verse 20, if you've died with Christ, and verse 23 says, all these other things, they have no value for stopping the indulgence of the flesh. Now have your legs together, and I want you to reach your arms up and down. Good. So how do we stop indulging the flesh? Think about that as you're going into your workout today. What are the ways that you actually give in to your flesh? A few more little squats right here. Raise up those arms. Good. Now raise up those knees. Higher than your waist. Do you indulge in the flesh? What does that look like for you? What would help you not? What are the rules that you have? The rules, the regulations that you have? And I even ask you today, as we do this workout, what are the rules you have when it comes to food and when it comes to fitness? Do you have rules and get all these things from the world? Take it back to Colossians 1, 18, 19. Christ is to be preeminent in all things. All right, grab your ball, sip of water if you need it. We're gonna get ready, get started with our first move. So take that ball and put it in this side. We are going to start on this side for this whole round. 4 moves, we're gonna do them 4 times, and you're gonna be on this side first, then this side. All right, you're ready? So you can hold on if you want, or you can train the balance. You take that leg up, over, and down. So with the ball in your knee, you're doing hip circles, all the while this leg is training the balance. So take it up, over, and down. I've already been training my balance, but if you need to, you hold on to a chair or to a table. Good job. Keep the ball in this leg. All right, now we're gonna turn. I'm gonna turn to the side. You can keep facing me. Keep the ball in the same leg. Look at me. The ball running away is part of your workout, okay? Now you're gonna bend down and then straighten up. Bend down and up. Again, training the balance here. Bend down and up. If you need to, you hold on to a chair to help you with the balance as you're learning and as you are training it. All right, this is gonna be an interesting, put the ball right there in at your knee, and you're gonna just have this leg out to the side, and you're rolling it up and down. So that leg is out to the side. It's okay if you need to adjust your ball depending on how it's rolling with your feet, but you have that leg exactly out to the side. All right, out to the side again. The ball goes on your leg and your hands, side bends. We're gonna work our obliques, our core in this workout. So I want you to pretend that you have a piece of glass in front of you like this, and a piece of glass behind you. And in these movements, like the last one with the hip, and now with these side bends, you are going exactly straight out to the side. All right, back to the top. We're going on this side. So put the ball in the other leg. Hang on to something if you need to. Go up, over, and down. Training the balance, opening up your hip right here. This is mobility and balance. Strength too. You know that this leg is working so hard for you. Yes, with balance, but also with strength. Good job. All right, I'm going to turn to the side. Keep that ball on the same side. Lean down and then up. As you raise up and stand, you get to squeeze your bottom. Good. Hold on if you need to. If you need to hold on to something, you bend over and reach and stand up. Good job. All right. Put that ball right there in your knee and roll the hip. Now you know what our first round is. I'd love to go to our message. And I'm going to start kind of like with the big picture summary. So again, Colossians 2, this is verses 20 through 23. And the part about Christ is at the very beginning. You've got your 2 pieces of glass, side bends over. You're working your obliques right here. Verse 20 says, if you have died with Christ to the elemental spirits of the world. All right, so there right there. It's a if, it's a conditional thing, right? Yeah, but we've already talked through the gospel and talked through Christ dying and that we die with him and we are raised with him. All right, everything one more time back to the top this side. So we are called to die with Christ. Christ died for us and for our sins. He gave up his body, he gave up his flesh for us. Christ took on a body and he died for us. And Christ is the point. So going back to that main wonderful little hymn in Colossians 1, training that balance, ladies, bend over and up. That Christ is the point, and Christ is to be preeminent in all things. And I'm just going to preach it for us here, all of you who are part of Fitness for the Field and doing these Colossians workouts with me. I'm going to preach it, and I'm going to talk about this in our food and fitness, because as I read Colossians, and maybe it's because of the heart and the passion that God has given me out to the side, I believe that we do this in our food and fitness. We take on the elemental spirits of the world. We also have all these rules when it comes to fitness and when it comes to food. Don't handle this, don't taste this, don't touch this. Even the part of asceticism, out to the side, bend over. Great oblique crunches right here. We allow the world to be preeminent in our food and fitness, and that's not okay. It's not. So, why, if we died with Christ, putting to death our flesh, do we allow ourselves to handle all of these rules and regulations according to human precepts and teachings? All right, we're back to the top. This is our last round of the first little set. So go up, over, around, hip openers. So referring to all these things that perish as they are used. And another little tagline I love to use for Fitness for the Field is that we keep our fitness pursuits holy and eternal. Here we are in verse 22, right here talking about all of these things. They perish as they are used. They perish. So how you work out and how you eat, do you really consider, hey, how can I do this in a way that it's worship that's not just gonna perish and be of this world. Hey, how can I do this in a way that's godly and gives Christ the preeminence? Come on. Roll that hip up and down. Roll that ball up and down your leg. Training the balance. Leg is out to the side. Lots of side work today. How do we do it in a way that it's not just going to perish? Is there a way? I'm asking you questions because you're going to have to think about this for yourself. Ball in your hand, side bends. So, we've died with Christ. That's verse 20. Go to verse 23. All these other things, they have no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. But I would argue that where our value comes from is to die to our flesh. We've died with Christ. We put the flesh to death. You have a 30-second break before we start our next set. So get water and think right now with me. What are the things that you give value to and you think they're going to help you stop indulging in your flesh? What are the things that are not of Christ? All right, our second round, I want you to hold the ball up. Your leg is out to the side, and you're going to crunch up. Our last little thing, the side bends, where you roll that ball down, but now you're crunching that leg up, and you're crunching your arm down. All right, out to the side. You have that piece of glass in front of you and behind you. I don't want you reaching up like this. None of this in front. Out to the side. Good job. All right, this one is fire. Put that ball down on the ground, same side, your left side, the whole time. Now I want you to get into a reverse lunge and your knee is right on that ball. Now I want you to hover on that ball. I don't want you to smash it to the floor. I want you to come up high enough that you're hovering and you're coming off the ball, but you're staying low enough that the ball doesn't run away. It is just there to barely touch. All right, now put the ball between your legs. And this is where you might want to hold on to something. I want you to do some parallel squats. So if you can just squat. These are narrow squats. You squat while you're squeezing that ball between your knees. And then the second way that we're going to parallel squat in this set right here is where you're going to want to hold on to something. Hold on and get up on those tiptoes, and your bottom is still squatting back. Not just knees down, bottom back, squat up on the tiptoes. Can you do it with me? If not, you can keep those feet flat on the ground. All right, right here, hold it down and squeeze those knees together. Up on your tiptoes, squeeze, squeeze, pulse all the way through. Whoo! Back to the top, other side, between your glass. Crunch out to the side. Remember, this is not in front of you. It's out to the side, out to the side. Good job. So I asked you, as we go into this round, what are the ways that you're trying to stop indulging your flesh? You're trying your best to have self-control and to have self-discipline. Put that ball under that knee. You can hold on to some if you need to. You're only hovering and you have tiny pulses. This is time under tension. You're not smashing that ball. You're staying close enough that it doesn't run away, and you have the tiniest little pulses that are making you hover in this awesome lunge position. Good. All right, give me the parallel squats, ball between your knees. Now remember, you're squatting, so you're going back. You're not just going down. Please take care of your knees. You're going back, back. So I hope you have it in your mind. What are the ways? Do you do certain things like certain kinds of fasting and certain kinds of, well, I don't eat this and I don't eat that. Now, if you have allergies, You have to do that. And if you have found a way, that's fine. Again, just like we had in our last workout, in our last message, right before this, those things are good. You can figure out some good rhythms and you can have them. And that's a good thing. All right, hold it down, squeeze the ball up on your tiptoes. Squeeze all the way through. Good, good. That's halfway through this round. Back to the top. Oblique crunches out to the side. So if you found some good things, they're principles, they're guidelines, yeah? And that might be helping you to have good health and to steward your health. Yes, 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 we want that. But what we don't want is when we really get so strong that we're making those things the point. All right, hover down, pulses. We're making those things the point. And here's the main thing, they're not working. They have no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. Now here's where I'm going to take you to a different passage of scripture. Romans 8, verses 1 through 11. Go sit in that if you want. It talks about the spirit and the flesh. You cannot please the Spirit of God and your flesh. You cannot please them both at the same time. So, if we are wanting to kill the flesh, to not focus on the flesh, to have our eyes and to walk by the Spirit, we cannot focus on our flesh. So how do we do it? This is where we go back to our get up on your tiptoes. Our main message in Colossians, Christ is the point. Christ has done it. We look to Him and we seek Him. We walk by the Spirit and not by the flesh. We're not making man-made rules and regulations. They have an appearance of wisdom, but they have no value in stopping the flesh. All right, last round. This side, other side. So, I would love to say our 4 verses again and then kind of talk through some of the other details. If with Christ you died to the elemental spirits of the world, why, as though you are still alive in the world, do you submit to regulations like do not handle, do not taste, do not touch, lunge with me, pulse with me, hover? Why do you still do these things? Do you submit? Why do you submit to the regulations? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. Referring to all these things, they all perish in the end according to human precepts and teaching. Last parallel squats right here. So, they perish in the end. These things, they indeed have an appearance of wisdom in promoting self-made religion and asceticism and severity to the body. But, take it up on those tiptoes, but they have no value in stopping the indulgence of flesh. So, think about it. It's almost like a self-made religion. I would argue that hold it down and pulse all the way through the end. If you're shaking, you're doing it right. All right, pulse all the way through the end. Good, 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 good. All right, 30-second break, and then we're gonna go down on the mat. Down on the mat. So, are you holding fast to human precepts and teachings? They're tricky. No shame if you are. They have an appearance of wisdom. They do. They promote this good things. All right, put the ball between your knees, and we are going to be on our backs for this first round. All right, you're going to take your bottom and raise it up. Drive through your heels for me. Drive through your heels. You're not arching your back trying to get as high as possible. No, no. You are keeping alignment with your hips and your ribs, and you're squeezing your bottom, driving through your heels, glute bridges. Good job. So just up and down that first round. All right, here is your goodness of the second. You're gonna hold it up, hold it, and hang there. Breathing, you're squeezing your bottom, time under tension. All right, now halfway, we're gonna pulse our knees. Pulse and squeeze your ball. Your bottom is working so hard. Squeeze, pulse all the way through. Now remember, I've asked you to start on your left side. So your left side, okay? We're gonna hold that ball over our head, hold our leg up, give me a little crunch, and you take that ball through your leg and around above your head, working the mobility of your arms and shoulders all the while, working your core. Try not to dome or raise your bottom. Your core. Keep it strong, core is engaged as you're doing this. All right, last move, that leg that was up, put your ball in that knee, raise the other leg. Now, instead of crunching up, you're gonna crunch your bottom up. Your head stays on the mat, core is stable on the mat, and you just lift your bottom like you're pressing that heel to the ceiling, all the while holding the ball. Good, that's your round. Now, back to the top. Put that ball between your knees. Remember, not overarching. You're just raising your bottom up and down. So have you made your own little religion? And just because I taught food and fitness, I'm asking you specifically, have you made it a religion, the way you eat? You have all these rules, you have all these regulations, you're being so legalistic. All right, now hold your bottom up, hold it, squeeze your butt cheeks. Core is engaged, hold it, hold it. Make sure you're still breathing. All right, here we are about halfway. Pulse your knees, squeeze your ball together. Have you been doing this? You've been focusing on things that are not gonna last forever. Now you might be like, Brandy, how in the world do we eat in a way that lasts forever? Oh, that's a great question. Eat in a way that you're worshiping. One leg is out, your right leg this time is bent. Crunch up. You're raising your upper body up. Take that ball around. Good job, over your head and then through your leg. Good. Breathe out as you crunch up and keep considering how are the ways that you've not died to Christ in these areas. All right, now take that ball in between your leg, raise the other leg up. Now you're pushing that heel towards the ceiling. Crunch it up, core is engaged, raising your bottom. Oh, what a hard thing, right? You're halfway through, keep going all the way through the end. And we just have 2 more rounds of this awesome set. Good, good. Last one. All right, take that ball out and put it between your knees. I want to talk about 2 different ways we do this with our food and fitness. Bottom up and bottom down. So some of you have been going after the asceticism and the severity of the body. You might be in the boundary or in the ditch of obsessing about your health. Yeah? So that's where we get it. Verse 23. Things that have an appearance of wisdom. All right, raise it up, hold it. They have an appearance of wisdom. It looks so great, like on the outside, like, oh, it looks like self-discipline. It looks like you getting this body under control. But deep down, you know you have a problem. You know that you're obsessing over every single thing you put in your mouth. You know that you're obsessing over how many times you work out. Maybe you even have a smartwatch counting those calories, Calories burned, calories going in. All right, release. Back to the other side. Leg is out, other leg is bent. Sit up, take that ball around. So do you fall in that area where you're trying to stop the flesh, but you actually have, it looks like major control. It looks like major, remember asceticism means severe self-discipline. Oh, I call this obsession. So is this where you are? Put that ball between the leg. So that would be one side of obsession. Now sometimes that looks like health. I've been there myself. It looks like health. You might be getting all the results you want. Maybe you're losing weight or gaining muscle or whatever in the world, and it has an appearance. You hear that? This is the language of verse 23. It has an appearance of health. It has an appearance of wisdom. Last round, put that ball. Give me strong glute bridges. Don't arch your back. Make sure your core and your glutes are doing the work right here. But really, it's obsession. All right? So that's some of us. Now, some of us fall on the other side of, oh, I'm not obsessed about my body. You might not even work out. You might not calorie count. Now hold that bottom up. Squeeze your glutes. You might not count your calories. You might not even have a smart watch or any kind of tracker or track your workouts. You might never write down your workouts. You might not even know if you work out. You might not even work out at all, right? You are scared. You're neglecting your health because you don't want to be too vain. You don't want to obsess. Maybe you've obsessed before. So now we're over here. Again, this appears like wisdom. Squeeze those legs, squeeze the ball. Last time. Good job. Now you're back on the right side. Last time, one leg out, right leg bent. You got me the sit-ups, ball between your legs. This also can have an appearance of wisdom. It might even look like freedom. Oh, the language. Oh, is it 1st or 2nd Peter? Where it talks about not to use your freedom to cover up with the ball between your legs. Very last move, press that heel to the ceiling. Where we use our freedom to cover up as an excuse for indulging the flesh. Woo! So whether you are obsessing or neglecting, there's ways you can do either one, and you can act like and even say that this is wise, or this is stewarding your health, or this is not obsessing, this is not neglecting. Oh, just be careful. You have a 30-second break, and I have one more round for you. We're gonna still be down on our mat, but this time we are not on our backs. We are going to be prone. All right, so take your ball for every last move. 4 more moves. You got 4 more rounds. You're doing a great job. All right, starting on the left side, put that ball in your left knee on all hands and fours. And we are not doing raises. We are doing more hip openers. So take that leg out to the side and draw a circle. Do you remember when you were standing and you made those circles, but now we're doing it down on the mat? Try to keep your body and your back stable. I love to say as if you had a hot cup of coffee right here. All right, now put that ball between your feet. Lay down on your mat for me, and I want you to do hamstring curls. These legs can be resting on the mat, or you can have them, I have mine, slightly raised. You're working these hamstrings. Curl it up, curl it up. Good job. All right, now take your ball, the last 2 moves. I do want you to put your, the ball back into your knee. And I want you, I'm gonna pause the little timer right here because I want you to get set up well with me. Set up well with me. and we are gonna go up into side planks. So set it up. You have your elbow under your shoulder. This is good alignment. You're not arching your back, straight alignment down to your knees. I would love for you to be on your knees. And then I want you to raise up if you can. If you can, raise up so that you're in a side plank and your core is engaged and holding you up. And as you do, you lift those legs. If this is too much, then your option is to stay on the ground but lift your legs. You're still getting the benefit of the glute. But right here, if you can, raise it up and hold that engagement in your core, working the sides, these obliques. All right, now right here, the last round, you hold it up and hold that leg up. You're holding that side plank, let 30 seconds. Now halfway, squeeze the ball. Squeeze the ball. These are your 4 moves. Good job. All the way through to the end of the timer. All right, that was your left side. Check yourself. Are you on your left side? Next side is gonna be on the right. All right, so get on all fours, put the ball in the right knee, and you do your hip circles. Remember, your back is stable. You got a hot cup of coffee right here, and you don't want it to spill. And you're doing some great hip circles, breathing and opening up that hip. You're getting the balance. You're holding yourself up, a little bit of the arms. All right, now put the ball in between your feet and lay down on your mat. Remember, you can raise these up a little bit and get that extra engagement. Hamstring curls where you're curling the ball up. So if you can, raise those legs just a tiny, tiny bit. You'll know that you're not putting all the pressure. And give me some hamstring curls. Good job. Now I'm gonna flip around to the other side. Make sure you're doing that because we're going into that side plank. Line it up, you know how. I told you how. And if you can, get that hip off the ground. Sorry, the ball's in your knee. Get that hip off the ground and raise that leg up. So you're working your core right here, especially the obliques, but you're also working your glutes and your upper body. Your arm is holding you up. All right, last move right here. You hold it, stable, stable. You're not holding your breath when you're doing this, but your core is engaged. If I could touch you, it would feel tight. Good, now squeeze your ball. Good job. You're halfway through the very last round. So much goodness. Good job, good job. Back to the left side. So put that ball in your knee. Stable, stable, hip openers. Let's go back to the message. If with Christ you died to the elemental spirits of the world. You hear that? Did you, friend? Did you die with Christ to the elemental spirits of the world? And then it asks Paul, he's asking the church, and I believe he's asking us this question. Put that ball between your legs, between your feet, and lay down. He's asking, why then? Why? As if you're still alive in the world. Why? Why do you submit yourself to regulations? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. According to human precepts and teachings. Remember, all of these things, they perish as they are used. All right, go up into the side plank, back onto the left side. Ball is in your left knee, up. Now raise it up and lower it. Core is engaged this whole last minute. So why? These things, they have, and indeed, they do. They have an appearance of wisdom. Do you see how he's saying, hey guys, I get it, I get it. They do have an appearance of wisdom. And they promote self-made religion and asceticism. Now hold it up and squeeze. Severity to the body, but they are no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. All right, as we go into our very last round. Pulse it all the way to the end. Very last round. Put the ball, come on, keep pulsing. Going with the timer. Now put the ball into your right leg. Last round. You give me 2 more minutes, okay? Hip openers. And I want you to really think about it. And I want to zoom out this message, the end of Colossians 2. I want to zoom out. Paul's writing to the church because there was false teachings coming in. Some of these false teachings are all these rules and regulations that people of the world are putting on these people. Put the ball between your feet, hamstring curls. So, big picture, the false teachings that are coming in, these man-made, these or self-made. Do you make these rules yourself? Regulations? Do you have all these rules that have an appearance of wisdom? But guess what? They're not eternal. How can we make guidelines that are eternal? Here's how. We die with Christ. Spinning over to the other side. The ball is in your right knee. You're up into your side plank. Get stable, then raise it up. So zoom it out. Do you have false teaching? Do you have these things that are coming in to your life? Might be coming into your theology, but I'm here to say, might be coming in to your food and fitness. All right, now hold it up. Hold that plank. Stable, stable. Come on. Last 20 seconds, even less than. All right, now squeeze all the way through the end. Squeeze that ball. Good job. Are you trying to stop indulging the flesh? It's not going to come with all these rules and regulations. Finish. Good job. Put your ball away. And we're going to stay down on the mat for most of our stretching. Get a sip of water and let your heart rate calm down. Heart rates didn't get up super high, right? But still, do you feel what we did with alignment and balance? Alignment and balance and just the slow strength, the mobility. I hope you felt that. All right, just sit here for me and belly breathe. Get into it as we're going into our cool down. I want you to be breathing in through your nose, filling up your belly, and out through your mouth. And as we finish this workout, Lord, I just ask you to kind of bring it home, convict us, and show us what are the ways that we keep making all these rules, but yet we're called to die with Christ. And that is how we don't live in the world. That is how we don't indulge our flesh. And that is how we walk by the Spirit, is our death with Christ. All right, shake out these arms. They held you up a little bit at the very end. Look at my hair. I can just feel the wildness of my hair. All right, open up these arms. And I would love for you just put these feet out in front of you. Cross one leg over, and as you cross it over, look in that direction. Give me a good, nice twist. Breathe, belly breathing the whole time that we're stretching. And I'm calling you to not submit to these rules and regulations. Let's just change sides and twist to the other side. Not to submit to these rules and regulations. They're not worthy. They have no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. No, we've been made alive together in Christ. All right, now have your feet out in front of you, and I want your backs upright, different than maybe sometimes you do. Imagine that you're putting your chest towards your knees. Don't round your back, just lean forward gently with your chest towards your knees. So much hip work. We're going to stretch these hips right here. So as you come up, I just want you to take your hips to the side. Now lean over towards that hip and breathe, belly breathing the whole cool down. Lean over towards that side. Now take it and lean towards the front. And as you're just going back prone, imagine that you're submitting and that you're dying with Christ, and you're saying, no, I don't want to have all these rules and regulations that are of no use. They're all going to perish. Come back up. How can we eat in a way that's eternal? This is going to be very specific for every one of us. All right, now lean over towards this side. It's going to be very specific based on your season of life. How old are you? Based on your status, are you married? Are you single? Do you have children in the home? It's going to be very different based on where you live. How do we eat in ways that are worship and eternal? How do you work out in ways? All right, now lean forward. How do we work out in ways that's eternal and that lasts forever? Is that possible? I'm here to say it is. The Lord has come to show me how it can be. And I would, instead of me just trying to tell you my experience, I invite you to question and to ask of the Lord. Now get on all fours right here. And I would love for you to rock back and forth a few times. Good. Now take one leg. Let's just start with your left and pull it up under you. And lean and sit and hang out here. And if you can, lean forward. What are the ways that you could let go of some of your rules and regulations? I'm not talking allergies here. And I'm not talking about if you have figured out a way to eat so that you feel good, go for it. But don't hold so tightly to rules and regulations. Allow Jesus to speak in and say, it's okay right now. I'm not speaking allergies. I'm not asking you to go against doctor's orders if you have a metabolic condition or rules from your doctor for your health. This is not what we're talking about. I'm talking about your own rules and regulations, or something you've seen from the world like social media or something. All right, tuck that back toe up on these hands, and you're just gonna change your legs. You're gonna let this one go back and then the other one come forward. And then you're gonna force your body into that stretch. We're stretching your hips. This hip, the other side, your glute, and lean forward into it. And Lord, as we finish up this workout, God, I beg that you, for me and for everyone doing this workout, that we will understand what it means to die with Christ. So as Paul asked the church of Colossae, if we have died with Christ, why do we keep living according to the world? Why do we keep living according to the flesh? Lord, show us what it means to submit and put all of these things in our lives subject to Christ. Christ is the point. He does get the preeminence. All right, raise up on your hands right here. Both knees back. You're back on all fours. Put those feet together. Take your knees wide. Rock back and forth. And I want you to sit back as far as you can on your feet. Walk those shoulders out as far as you can. Lord, I thank you so much for Jesus. And I thank you that Jesus did it all. And I beg you to help us to keep an eternal focus on Christ. And that we will not keep submitting to the world and to different rules and regulations and to our own self-made just asceticism and rules and our own self-made religion. I pray that we will submit to Christ. Walk your hands over and put your body on that one leg and breathe, belly breathing, so that your leg feels it and stretch. Breathe out through your mouth. Walk back over to the middle and go over to the other side. Again, belly breathing on that leg. And come back to the middle. Flip your palms over. Lord, we ask that you will lead us and that you will show us, and that we will not let false teaching come in, that we will not let judgment come in, and that we will not partner with all these things of the world. I pray, God, for all of us to submit to Christ. He is the head, and that we submit everything and we grow with the growth that is from God. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for working out with me. I'll see you next time.